Spartans! What is your profession?
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today in War Thunder Victory Day is finally upon us, and what this means is discounts, events, decals, and even some wonderful wallpapers. I just want to point out that this wallpaper here, which you can see here, is absolutely amazing. One of the art styles that I really like is when you have a center part of a picture which is incredibly defined, such as this train here, which looks absolutely amazing, and then you have the outer parts like this area here of the crowd and this area here and even this area which is not as focused in. It kind of gives like a picture vibe when you take a picture from a camera, where one thing is obviously the center of the focus and everything else blurs out a little. I've got a bunch of pictures like this and I absolutely adore it. So I just wanted to congratulate the individual who made this stunning picture, and hopefully many people use it as a wallpaper going forward. Anyway, what we're going to do today is have a look into the discounts. I've made an Excel spreadsheet going through the different bundles that are available for the PC store. We'll also have a look at the Xbox and the PlayStation stores as well. We'll go through the events. We'll go through everything that's going on. So I'll go through everything that's going on, then we'll have a look at the individual vehicles themselves that are on offer. The first thing to understand is there are discounts of up to 50% in the game and also in the store. So from 11 GMT, 8th of May, so by the time you've seen this video, the stuff will be live until the 9 o'clock, so 9 AM on the 13th of May, you yourself can get 30% discount for any Allied Nations vehicles, including premium vehicles, except those from update 1.87, so the last update that we had. Also, you can get 50% discount for premium account for periods of 90 and 365 days. You can also get this for 180 days, if you know where to look. So if we click the store button here, it'll take you to the Gaijin store. You can go to the special offers, or you can just go down here and you can see that to purchase for 180 days, you are able to get that on the Gaijin store. So you can either do 90, 180 or 365 days, so a quarter year, half year or full year, and I'll do the price breakdown for you in a bit. Also, there are special vehicle bundles with special discounts for up to 50%, which is what you see below. Once again, we'll do the cost breakdown. These are available until the 13th, so if you don't pick them up today, you do have 5 days to have a look at them, work out what you want. I would personally do it over the weekend and make sure, to deliberate on the decisions that you're making. Then, of course, instead of, if you want just one particular vehicle here, instead of the bundles themselves, you can buy them individually, but obviously if you do them individually, they're going to be a higher price than collectively, just because, well, that's how bundles work. Also, the PS4 and Xbox One users are able to purchase vehicles from these packs with a discount using Golden Eagles in the game. So all of these should be, should be available for Xbox and PS4 players in the game themselves. And on top of this, they are also announcing final sale with a 50% discount for the following packs: the MB5, the SO8000 Naval, and also the MTB Fairmile D. So I'll go through my opinions on these three vehicles. I have made videos on at least the MB5, so you can check that out. Then, on top of this, after May the 13th, these packs will no longer be available for purchase. So these will be gone from the store after the 13th of May. So if you want to pick them up, this would be the time to do it. Understand that generally when they take stuff off the store, they do come back to the store in specials, such as the anniversary sale in November, obviously the Christmas sale, sometimes even the German Unity sale. Certain machines do make a comeback into the game. And then, of course, that PlayStation Store and Xbox Store offer discounts for other bundles for Allied vehicles. So let's just have a look at them really quickly. On the Xbox Store, you can see that they have 55 results, which is absolutely insane. But the main specials are for the XM1. It's half price and remember, I believe these are Canadian currencies right now, not US. It might be US though. So you have half price on the XM1 Chrysler, half price on the F4U4B Corsair, so both of these which are Xbox exclusives. Then half price on the T55AM, half price on the USS Benion, and then we have half price on the MX-30, half price on the Centurion Mark V Avery, and that's about it. So all, or not all, but a lot of the top tier vehicles that we have in the game are going half price for the Xbox guys and gals. The PlayStations is very similar. So if you have a look here, you can see that the Mustang pack, the Wyvern pack, the Centurion Avery pack, the Narval, the T29, and also the FL10 pack, and I'm sure maybe a few others are also special as well. So make sure, if you are on PlayStation, make sure if you are on Xbox, to check out your own deals, because there's going to be different ones for you compared to PC. But understand, all the ones that are available on PC, you can also purchase for GE in the game itself, where obviously PC players cannot do this. And also remember, on top of all of this, if you are a PC person, remember you can use Gaijin coin from the Gaijin market to purchase these packs. So if you have a bunch left over after the Battlefield Engineer event, or maybe the I-7 event, or maybe just, you know, selling something, you could always splash it about on the Gaijin store itself instead of using it on the market. The next thing that's happening is we're getting a daily 2x bonus to RP gain for first victory. Now this is happening from the 9th of May to the 11th of May. You can receive bonuses for a victorious battle for each nation once per day after 1 GMT on May the 9th and once after May the 10th. So pretty much we are getting 2x2s per nation for 2 days, and all you've got to do is win a match. So that is each nation getting a ×2 RP. Going back to the old days, what used to happen is on a daily, each nation would get a ×2 RP for their first mission or first win, and then on the weekends you get a ×5. So here they are kind of broaching it back into what it used to be, where you get ×2 bonuses on your RP gain. So make sure to take advantage of that over the 9th and the 10th of May over the next few days. The next ones are the decals. So you basically have to play 3 battles and random battles with activity 60% or higher while playing vehicles of rank 2 or higher, and you can get yourself one of the victory symbols. These ones were there from the previous years, so if you haven't got your hands on them, then now you can, or you can get the new one, which is this beautiful lady with, of course, the wonderful sword and shield. So if you are a returning member to War Thunder and have all these victory decals, then you can get your hands on this one. If you are new to the War Thunder, then you have a chance of getting 1 out of 4 of these decals if you play just 3 random battles with 60% battle activity. On top of this, they're also giving away the DP27, a machine gun which I covered in a video earlier this week, and all you've got to do for the DP27 is over this 5-day period of the 8th of May to the 13th of May, you've got to play 2 battles and be the first on the team, so you don't have to win. The best way of doing this, as I talked about in the easy 2K video, is get in a tank, make sure to do well in the tank, then spawn in a plane, shoot down enemy fighters, you'll easily get top of the team. Then win 5 battles with battle activity of 60% or higher, that'll just happen playing the game, and then destroy 50, 25, 25 enemy vehicles, ABRB, SB. This will also just happen during the game while you're playing it. If you want to track this, as it says, you can go to Profile, Achievements, and Tournaments. So if you click here, go here, and then go to Achievements, and then go to... Oh, wait, there we go. Is this the right one? Yes. So you just go here, Victory in Europe Day, and then you can just hover over here and it will tell you exactly how far you are through these achievements and also how close you are to this one as well. And I just want to make sure, because sometimes they offer it in a box, and it looks like this time there's no box on offer for that, so unfortunate there. But anyway, let's get back to the stuff, because that's not everything that's going on. There's more stuff as well. There's also an Operation Berlin event where you can make 30% RP gain bonus in these historical events. Unfortunately, at least for me, it is not available yet, unless it's talking about this, which it doesn't seem to be available either, because these are just simulator battles. So hopefully in the future, when these are available, you can play them and get your hands on some more RP, and then we have tournaments on top of it. There's so much stuff going on over the next few days, and a lot of it is small, minimal, but it is worth going over. So from the 10th of May to the 12th of May, there are 3 tournaments of the 4-on-4 format in Arcade, Realistic, and Simulator going on, and if you come first and second in these tournaments, you can get your hands on either the ceremonial camouflage for the T80 or the ceremonial camouflage for the T64B. So this is it for the T64B. You can see it's very close to the parade one, but very nice. And then on top of it, this is the one for the T80, which is just dapper. I think the contrast is very high on it. It just looks really nice. I really enjoy this camouflage, and I'm thinking about going for it not by myself, because obviously the tournaments are 4 versus 4. So you and 3 other mates can go and sign up on these tournaments, and make sure to obviously have all the vehicles, or have the vehicles that you personally want to use in them. And then on top of everything, make sure to get yourself first or second to get the camouflages, and even if you don't, 3rd to 8th, you get 700 GE and a Victory Star emblem, which if you haven't got, you know, it's a decent decal. It's a PNG, so all of this area here is not just black, it actually falls right onto your tank wherever you want to put it. But you can see, coming 3rd to 8th place in a 32-man tournament, pretty much you have to win 2 sets of battles, and you've already guaranteed yourself 700 GE and a Victory Star emblem. That's not crazy. That's quite easy to do, especially if there are a few no-shows, and that means that getting your hands on one of these camouflages will be quite easy to do as well. So good luck to you if you want to do the tournament stuff. I would highly recommend it, just for the G and also the experience of getting these camouflages, which will be unique to you. So, after going through everything that is on this page, and going through, all of the different things going on, I think it is time for me to tackle the different bundles that are going. So what I've done is I've created a spreadsheet, and just make sure, yep, this is all working. I've created a spreadsheet that you can see here. It has listed all of the prices of the packs in USD, that's United States dollar. Then it has listed all of the prices per vehicle, and I'll go down, what that means, and pretty much just goes through the general costs of everything. Now, something that also is available is the spreadsheet for you. The spreadsheet will be in the description of this video, so if you just want to click it, it'll open it in like a Google Doc, and you'll be able to see it so you can have a copy for yourself. Pretty much what we have here is all these separate vehicle packs that you can get on the store. Then we have the 2 bundles. Then we have these special vehicles here, which are going away after this event is over. Then we have the premium time costs, which we'll go over first. So remember, as I said, the premium time, if you go to this area here and you go to premium account, you can see that you save 50% on the 365 days and 50% on the 90 days. So either a quarter of a year or a half of a year, you can save 50%. And then if you go to the Gaijin store itself, you can save 50% on 180 days. So if we take this into context, the 90-day one costs 2,450 GE. The cost of 2,500 GE on the store is $13.99. So for a McDonald's and a McFlurry, a McDonald's meal and a McFlurry in Canada, you can get yourself a 90 days worth of premium, which of course, if you don't know the premium benefits, it is definitely well worth it in the game. It gives you plus 100% research to all game modes, plus 50% for active actions in random battles, plus 100% line rewards for battle time in random battles, plus 50% reward in other game modes. And then for me, so the bigger ones, to be honest, increases the limit of dynamic campaign missions, which give a reward, which is lovely. Then allows the creation of squads consisting more than 2 players. Then of course the 4 decal slots as well, so you can razzle Taz, show off your Daz. Now, back we go. So Premium time, 90 days, will cost you $13.99. 180 days, $20. And then, if you go 365 days, unfortunately, the only two brackets for GE you can pick up are the 5,000 and 10,000. So if you want to pick up the 10,000, it's $50, and then you can spend 7,450 on the premium, and then you have 2,550 left over, which you can use for something else. And if you don't want to do that, and the overall cost going away from just the buying the GE on the store is technically around about $45, but obviously you can't just buy, the premium outright. You have to buy G in these little areas, which is, kind of annoying, but it is how it is. So at the end of the day, it's about $50 for 365 days, but you do get 2,500 GE left over. So technically, we're talking 5 McDonald's meals here. So if you want to kick the fast food, or you maybe want to eat more lettuce or more peppers, use this as an opportunity to do so. Or maybe don't buy meat this week or something like that. No, seriously, if you can't afford food, please don't pick up please don't pick up stuff on War Thunder. Obviously, this should be seen as an extra thing in your life instead of a necessity. And I do think there is an issue where some people do see it as a necessity, but remember, the pillars are much more important. Family, friends, rent, food, internet, right? Most of these pillars people in the modern world need on a daily basis. Focus on getting those sorted before spending money on a game, okay? Once they're sorted, though, put down the MacEDs, pick up 365 days of premium. It is easily the best, most efficient deal in this, because it means that you basically times 2 your research that you have across the board to every action you do in War Thunder. If you buy a premium for Germany, it is only useful if you are grinding that specific type of German vehicle, whether it be an aircraft or a tank or whatever. But if you get premium time, it affects everything in game. Absolutely everything. So make sure to pick it up. Right. Anyway, let's go through each of the vehicles and their costs. So the 5th Canadian, oh, by the way, one of the interesting things is none of the packs, which are on offer now, the specials, none of them have any GE in them. They only have 15 days of premium time, and they all have 15 days of premium time. I would rather have a little bit of GE here and there instead of just premium time, but, hey-ho, they're obviously trying to control the price of GE, whereas premium, they're just throwing around a little bit more. Anyway, for the 5th Canadian, the vehicle itself, when you take away the premium time, is $1.37. Now, this was a CBT vehicle when it came to the US, and it is a wonderful vehicle. The M5 Stuart, or the M5A1 in this case, is an incredibly fun vehicle. You also get some decals along with it, and, it's got a very fast-firing 37. It's fast, it's got decent armor on it, it's good in a down tier. It also has scouting on it, as you can see. For some reason, nothing is installed on it, so how's your father? But but the main thing is that it has every little thing you would want out of a machine like this. It's got speed, it's got turn rate, its turret rotation isn't the best, but it's got good gun depression, it's got good penetration, it's got good damage. It is one of the better rank 2 vehicles in the game, especially at BR 2.3. So if you haven't picked this up and you also are a collector, this is a great pickup, and it's also cheap as chips. So yeah, $6.99, or as I said, $1.37 for the vehicle. The next one is the Spitfire LF Mark 9. It's $11.87. In my opinion, a little bit pricey, but also a good pickup. The IS-2 Revenge is $22.37. Definitely not worth it by itself. The T-3485E is $15.37. That's the Chicken Wire Express for the Soviets. Then we have the P-51D10. That's $11.87. The P-47M1RE, it's $15.37. Yak 9N is $5.57. Decent pickup. The LA7 is $10.47. The Spitfire FR Mark 14E is $15.37, and the M18 Black Cat is $10.47. So, disregarding these, because if you want an individual vehicle, then obviously the best one for price is the M5A1 5th Canadian, and of course the Yak 9M. But let's go through the bundles first, and then I'll give my opinions on the vehicles. So, the Wing to Victory bundle, which is the aircraft bundle, the Allied aircraft bundle, you are pretty much getting a bunch of premium time, so pretty much 3 months worth of premium time, and then the Spitfire LF Mark 9, P-51D, P-47M, Yak 9M, LA7, and Spitfire FR Mark 14E. So mainly rank 3, rank 4 machines, so they're going to be great at grinding the majority of the trees. There are a few problem BRs, you know, the P51D10 kind of sits in one, but overall, these are all very much serviceable machines. The weakest one out of these is the LA7, but that's just because the Soviets around that BR are pretty weak anyway. Spitfire is a great vehicle, just use it as a good climber which can turn with the Germans. Same with the Mark 14, and it's got a little bit of speed behind it. P51D10 is one of my favorite aircraft in the game. It's really good at high altitude. You need to play it in a squad nowadays though, because your teams fall apart. P47M1RE, great in ground battles, great in air battles as well, very powerful engine, and Yak 9M is also pretty good. My picks out of this, personally, the P47M and the Spitfire FR Mark 14E. Now, this pack in USD costs $74.47, but when you take away the premium time and also you divide by the amount of vehicles, per vehicle this pack is worth $6.79. So you are getting a bunch of rank 3 and rank 4 premiums for $6.79 each. That is a crackerjack of a deal, even if some of them are not on the best form of their life, such as the LA7. But overall, good pack. The Tracks of Victory, you get the 5th Canadian, IS-2 Revenge, T-3485E, and also the M18 Black Cat. Once again, 2 months worth of premium when you add it up. Cost is $51.48, and the cost per vehicle is $7.25. Now the question is, what is good when it comes to these vehicles? Well, the M5A1 5th Canadian, we've already talked about it. This is the Stuart. It's obviously got the collector value to it, the fact that it is a CVT vehicle. On top of this as well, the Stuart is a wonderful machine at 2.3. It's got all of the good factors. The only issue is the turret rotation. Everything else is amazing. The IS-2 Revenge is, well, in my opinion, it's not a very good vehicle. It's the problem with the IS-2 and also the IS-2 Revenge, which I don't actually think is, it's not visible. But the main issue, you can see that all premiums, as I said, are 30% off, plus the actual cost of these, once you research them, it's 30% off as well. But the IS-2 Revenge, the difference between the one in the tech tree and the one that you can get as a premium is the IS-2 1944, which is what it is. You know, this is just the IS-2 Revenge. You don't get the Dishka on the top, and you also don't get access to the add-on armor modification. So it's strictly a worse IS-2 1944, and I think the 1944 still has its issues. The main thing that is a problem with the 1944 is the fact that it has good armor, but its reload kills it. Right, when you only have gun depression of -3, and you also have a reload rate which is similar to a T29 or a T34, and you don't have the armor to back it up, this thing's just going to get eaten. And that's the thing, like, if the T44 and the IS-2 1944 fought at their BR of 6.3, they'd be pretty good. But they don't. They get dragged up into 6.7 and they get annihilated by better heavy tanks. Tiger 2H, T29, and even the Carnarvon. The fact that this thing can get anywhere close to a Centurion Mark III shows you the issues that it has. No stabilizer, okay, you know, it's got okay armor, but the main thing is its gun. The gun massively lets this machine down, and it's the same thing with the premium. So I don't rate the IS-2 Revenge at all. T-3485E is the Chicken Wire Express. You pretty much take a T-3485, which is a rank 4 machine, and give it some chicken wire. And what I mean by chicken wire is I'll show you. So if we go over here and show you the Tracks of Victory bundle, here we go. They call them mesh screens. I mean, it's chicken wire, and you can see it here. But it's pretty much, it's supposed to stop rounds. It sometimes does. It's obviously effective against anything that's HE, and I have had times where AP has ricocheted off the chicken wire. I mean, the T-3485E is a really solid tank anyway. Got a good gun, good speed, good reload. Only issue is gun depression. It's one of my favorite tanks to use in like the World War II Chronicles events, and also it has some really cool Thunder League camouflages. So it gets a thumbs up from me. The M18 Black Cat, if you don't know what this is, it's a M18 Hellcat, which doesn't have a muzzle brake on the gun. It performs exactly the same as the Hellcat, so if you really enjoy the Hellcat, you really enjoy this. Do understand it does have some negative factors, obviously the hull brake to it, and even though the speed a lot of people like, it can also get you killed. So make sure you know what you're doing when it comes to the Black Cat and the Hellcat, and you'll be fine. But overall, I really enjoy the vehicle. I think it's really fun. It's one of the masterful vehicles of realistic. If somebody can master the Hellcat and take over a game in it, it kind of reminds me of the Lorraine 40T. It's really fun watching people do amazing in these vehicles, and the Black Cat is no different. Now, let's get on to the 3 vehicles which are getting removed from the sale in-game after this specific Victory Day. The first one is the Narval, which comes in at 1000 GE, 15 days of premium time, $15. So the cost per vehicle, $3.39, a steal when it comes to this. So the Narval, if you don't know, is a plane I've personally heavily criticized because it isn't very good, but it now fills at least an interesting role in the game. It was one of the first vehicles added to the French tree. It was actually a CBT French vehicle in the same form as like the Japanese destroyer is right now, where you had to either buy this or another vehicle to get access to the French CBT when it came to the air. The problem with it is that it got an air spawn back in the day. It is too chunky and it can't turn with normal fighters, so it gets out energy force, it gets out turned, and the only thing that kind of saves it from grace was the fact that it gets these 8 T-10 rockets or the bombs. Basically people used it to ground pound eventually to get through the French tree, and that means that in ground forces, ground realistic, it does now have a purpose, it does have a role, and they also gave it an altitude spawn in air realistic. So those are 2 positive factors that went in its way. Obviously the MG151s have also got a buff during its lineage in the game. So it has got many buffs over the years, but it still has that core issue. It isn't as maneuverable as a fighter, therefore if you don't use this thing to bomber hunt or ground pound or maybe twin engine hunt, then you're just going to get outdone by stuff like BF-109s, TAR-152s and other things. Thank you, Ubisoft. So yeah, that is something to take into account when it comes to the Narval. I personally don't think it's a great pickup at its full price, but for $3.39, not too shabby. The MB5. Now the MB5, I've actually done a full video on, so if you want to go and look at my thoughts on it, you can have a look there. Once again, cost per vehicle is $3.39. The MB5 finds itself in the British tree, which is sat right here, rank 4, and you have the Wyvern and the Spitfire F Mark 14C. So the Spitfire F Mark 14C is obviously very close to the FR Mark 14E. This is a Griffin Spitfire. It's incredibly powerful, 45.7, and it is just a really fun plane to fly if you've ever used a Griffin. It's got a lot of power behind it, it turns really well, it's got a good armament of 2 Hispanos and 4 7.7s. Then you have the Wyvern, which is one of the best ground pounders in the game and great at printing silver lions. Then you got the MB5, which has a higher silver lion reward at 720, but the problem is It has, first of all, Mark II Hispanos, which are on the outer wings, so it sprays all over the place. It is heavy as all hell, and its main thing that it's good at is getting up to altitude. When it's at altitude, at high altitude, it can then dive really well. You know what it can't do while it's diving really well? It can't really... Is that a helicopter? Huh. Anyway, it can't dive... it can dive really well, but it can't maneuver in the dive. So one of the things that would happen a lot to me would be I would dive after a BF-109 who was gone after an ally, and I would try and follow it, and it would be able to outmaneuver me, and it would just do this over and over and over and over again until we hit near the deck, and guess what? I get outmaneuvered. So unless you have a clear shot of a 2-on-1, the MB5 doesn't work too well. It also has no secondary armament, so it is definitely worse than anything that is multi-role in that respect when it comes to ground realistic. This is a fast plane, but that's about it. It doesn't have any other characteristic which makes it great, and there's even faster planes around this BR. So unfortunately the MB5 out of these three is the weakest, and definitely one that I would not recommend as a premium. I mean, when you've got the Wyvern sat there, this machine, and you've got the Spitfire F Mark 14C, very hard indeed to say that anyone should pick up the other one. The Wyvern's $30 right now. It isn't on offer. I would wait for it to be on offer. Hopefully it is on offer soon. Pick that up instead. So much better than the MB5. And it's $10 more, the Wyvern, at this moment, even when it's not on offer. The MTB Fairmile D. Now this has a GE cost of 1,000, premium time of 15 days, and it only costs $10. Do you know what this means? Do you know what these brackets mean? This means that if you buy this pack just for the gold, just for the GE, just for the premium time, you actually get the fair mile for less than what it actually is. Oh, wait, have I said that right? Wait. So if you add up the GE and add up the premium time, it already costs more than $10 individually. So therefore the Fairmile D is an added bonus, kind of like the free Abrams event. So technically the cost of this Fairmile D is negative $1.61. Put it like that. So the Fairmile, if you buy this pack, just for efficiency's sake, the GE in the premium time by itself is worth it, and the Fairmile is the added bonus on it. So take that into what I'm going to say about the Fairmile. The Fairmile itself is a good machine at 3.7. The problem with it is even though it has a lot of stuff going for it, you know, it's got two sets of different torpedoes, it's got two 57mm, which are, you know, they have a decent reload rate. With crew they get a lot better. It's got some good AA on it in the form of some Vickers machine guns. It's got a dual Oerlikon on the back. It has a lot of stuff, you know, it's a really good gunboat, but it's at 3.7. And you know what happens at 3.7? Look what starts. It's the Great Destroyer race. So if you want to use this machine, and you also want to up-tier all of your other battle boats at the same time, go ahead. But understand that you will run into the peril of the Clemson, the G-Class, the Tribal, and every other nation's destroyers. You know, the Ognavoy, the Moskva, the Project 7U, and then of course stuff such as the Farragus, the Fletcher, and the Clemson. So with that said, that is the problem with this machine. It is a really fun machine to use at its tier and down tiered. If it gets up tiered into destroyers, which happens quite a lot because, you know, people like to try and play them, especially those lower end destroyers, so you can't see cruisers. Guess what? The Fairmiles get donked on. They're not. This machine is not good against destroyers. It's not maneuverable enough. The torpedoes are nice against it, but it doesn't have enough firepower. It doesn't have enough crew. But against vehicles of its similar size, it is an absolute wonder to use, just like a lot of the British vehicles around this BR. And the fact that it technically doesn't cost anything in this pack means let's go. You know, let's pick up the Fairmile, let's get into Navy, let's have some fun, and make sure to have a lot of machines ready for when the Japanese come a-knocking, because the Royal Navy will be, of course, rocking. So that's all of the Victory Day sales that are happening on the website and also in-game. Remember that a lot of these vehicles are only on offer now, and they will go away after this Victory Day is over. So if you want to pick up a specific vehicle, this would be the time to do it in these sales. I overall believe that this event is good. You know, giving away decals is great, and also the DP27, then the daily bonuses, that's a lovely thing. The Berlin event is great, and then of course the victory tournaments. I cannot believe the amount of negativity that is in these comments. When I was making the Excel, I was actually just reading through these, you know, after taking a break. I cannot believe the amount of people who are so negative about this. There is hardly anything negative about this. This is like a kid getting sweets from his mother and then throwing them back in the mother's face and saying, "Damn you, woman, these were the wrong sweets." Craziness. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank B. Young, Blackie, Daniel Stanton, Dyslexic Child, Martinez, Matati, Moxie, Nito, Nick Graham, Alobralo, and Super Cacti for supporting me on Patreon.